What's good, people, taters, and dedicated gold chasers? Welcome back to the Modern Day Tater with your boy Marcy. We on another weekly review. This is a weekly review number 4, if I'm correct, doing it alone. And firstly, before we begin, I wanted to ask you guys, we're coming to the end of the quarter. So comment down below what you guys want to see from my personal journey. And then also don't forget to like our previous videos. Check out my boy Sam's video up here. And welcome to the Modern Day Tater. So today we're going to be discussing not just this past week's information, but we're also going to be discussing the quarter and what has occurred over the quarter. I think it's been a really good quarter. I think we started the year off pretty decent and we've been moving with a lot of momentum in certain areas of our life. But like in other areas, we have stalled a bit and we've slowed down. And I think it's just about like having things have a ripple effect and have an avalanche effect over my whole life. And that's what we're looking for going into Q2. However, let's jump into the nitty-gritty. Trading, overall, I will jump into what the quarter looks like. Overall, I like the momentum that we have. I like the fact that we've stuck to a trading plan for the whole quarter. We've built discipline. We had the same discipline with regards to risk management. We had the same discipline with regards to trade management. The amount of trades taken in a day this whole quarter has been relatively good. Now let's get to the shits, bro. Fucking skilled funded trader. Hey, bro, that thing went down. It went down, and it's just unfortunate that things like this happen. And you thought that causes and mentors were trying to scam you from taking your money and like scam you in the sense of, oh, we're selling this cause, we're selling that cause, and really they're just remaking those on baby pips. But now it seems as if the trajectory of scamming in this space has changed, and it's more so prop firms popping up and really just like popping up and taking you up. They take you up and they buy, bro, and they gone like, hey, bro, and when I'm gone, just carry on no more. Hey, so you better just carry on, bro, just carry on. And so that's that. However, let's get into the quarterly review. Okay, guys, taking a look into the quarter with regards to trading. Now, what you guys can see is that this is my full journal for the first quarter. And you can see that the last 2 trades that I've already taken that I alluded to in the previous section was that I've only taken 2 trades. And yeah, in March has really just been quiet, mainly due to this. And as you guys can see, as I mentioned, skilled funded trader has really capitulated, and skilled funded trader, in all seriousness, or I thought it would stay afloat just because of the people that was associated with skilled funded trader. And I feel like there wasn't really full transparency from the get-go. If they let us know at the start that they did not own 100% of the company, do I go with skilled funded trader? I highly doubt it. Do I keep that money and try to save a bit more to then join FDMO? 100%. And so I feel like as much as there's been this call for transparency and this call and apologizing and all of these things from Riz, and I haven't checked out Paladin and Omar, but like Riz has come out and apologized and really kept us up to date with what the occurrence of what happened with skill funded trader. As much as those things happened, I think a lot of traders don't get involved in skill funded trader if we known or if we knew from the start what occurred, or own skill fund trader as a company and as an entity. Anyway, less about skill funded trader. Let me close this and let's jump into the quarterly review. Now, what you guys can see is I do think that this would have probably been a -1 odd for the quarter if you take into account all of those trades that I missed throughout the quarter. Now, I didn't really keep a missed trades journal in this week coming. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap up the full quarter and go through month by month the trades that I could have taken with the new form or the new version of my strategy, and I'll record those as a perfect set for Q1. So jumping into what actually occurred, what you can see is that we really started off the quarter with some good momentum coming out of 2023 into 2024 with rejuvenated energy, with new hope that we can pass the challenge, with new hope that the reform strategy that we have from all the trades taken in 2023 will then perform. We then go through this slope. This is really just a free fall until we hit a mini support at -5%. What you can see is that price action, the results then takes a turn and we go back into profit, and then we took another fall. And I feel like a very big part of my strategy has now showed me where these dips and these big losses come from, and they're mainly from news events. And whenever I traded in news events, you'll see that this is always the last week to the first week of the month, the last week to the first week of the month. So in January, I started off the month good because I started around mid-year, started off the month good, and then you can see from in and around, let me go down, from in and around, what you guys can see from in and around the 18th, that's usually when news starts coming about for pound, to the last week of the month. That's when you can see a lot of my tips in my strategy. And that's why going into the new version of the strategy, I'm not trading a specific session when there's news. So if there's a big red flag news event in London session, I won't be trading that for each candle. And then similarly on this next dump to the downside, what you can see is that in and around the 12th to the 16th, now I do know that there was a lot of news in this week, and at least 5 of this 2, 4, 6, 7 trades, at least 5 of the 7 trades would have been avoided if I did not trade on the news. And so you really find and you gauge what you can change and what's in your control based on the data that you've collected or from your strategy. And so going into the second quarter, what I'm looking to do now is I'm really looking to not trade when there's news. I'm looking to trade when we're news free. And then also a big thing that I've brought in is not to trade on the last 15 minutes of a 4H candle. And then also what you guys can see is that for the full quarter so far, I've taken 8 trades on a Thursday and I've lost all 8. So we're not trading on a Thursday. We're not, for the next 3 months, we are not trading on a Thursday at all. Thursdays are taboo at this moment. And that's what we're going with into this next quarter. And so I think the quarter was it was really good for data collecting, and I think it made my strategy more robust, and it's given me information that I can now use to essentially turn the corner and to become more of a profitable trader. Because at the end of the day, all you really do is collect information, and once you have the information, you make adjustments, and once those adjustments are made, you then anticipate that there's going to be a turn in the results. And that's what I'm looking forward to doing. So yeah, guys, that's my quarter. I think majority of this quarter would have been longs, because the months there was weeks on weeks where pound yen was pushing to the upside, and so majority of the trades would have been longs. And yeah, I'm surprised that I've basically lost more than I've lost more than I've won with the longs. And just even though majority of the weeks were long, I think it's just more so got to do with understanding where to put your stop loss and understanding like those news events and all of those things that you now take out and you make adjustments for, and you anticipate that now, although you're going to take less trades, that you should have more wins in theory. So yeah, guys, the quarterly review, guys, as you guys can see that we had a pretty decent quarter. We ended the quarter off with basically no trading in March. And so I feel like we didn't really have a complete and accurate sample size. However, it is what it is. You take things in stride and you continue on, and you continue with the discipline that you have. Getting into fitness now, with trading, I'm pretty happy regardless of the result. I'm pretty happy with the processes, and I'm pretty happy with things that followed in and the momentum that I have going into Q2. With fitness, I feel like I need a rejuvenated energy. I
said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Energy. I need something that I need to create this want and this desire to really get into what I want to achieve. And obviously, as you guys know, I have a competition in July that I'm doing, and I didn't really make too much progress in the first quarter. And so now what that essentially means is that second quarter is it's a do or die type situation where I need to knuckle down, and I need to finish what I need to finish, and I need to do what I need to do on a day-to-day basis. There's no days off no more when it comes to fitness. The days that I schedule for gym, I need to go to gym. The days that I have, like, I need to eat a certain way, I need to eat those things, and I need to get it done. What I'm looking forward to is posting more pictures as I speak about this, about like my transformation week on week. And I think going into next week, I think I'll start taking more pictures. And as we walk through these videos and the weekly review, because it's more than just a funding challenge weekly review, it's an update on my life, and it's a review on how I move in life. And I feel like fitness being a part of what I want to do and who I am, I think I'm going to start incorporating before pictures or just weekly updates. And so that's what you guys can look forward to. However, wrapping up the fitness for Q1, it's really just been a flat line, really. Like I've consolidated, and I've basically ranged between the 92 to 95 area. And that's exactly where I'm at today, around 94.5 kgs. So yeah, and that's fitness for you. And I think it's really just about understanding that, yes, food is there to be enjoyed, but also you need to eat in order to nourish yourself and not overeat. Do not eat all the things that have sugar in, all the things that you find luxurious. Sorry. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to my professional career, which is obviously a professional accountant, and I am currently right now on 39%, but I'm looking forward to not just surpassing Q2's goal, which would be 16.25% on top of the 40% that I'm supposed to get, which means I would have needed to have, or I need to have 56 point something by the end of Q2. I'm trying to pass that and hit around 60 to 70% by the end of mid-year, which is Q2, and then hopefully push on and crack on for the rest of the year. But as you guys can see, I essentially achieved my goal, missing it by 1%. However, we did make a couple submissions to the back end of last week, and it hasn't been checked. So in theory, I should be around the 40% mark. So that's good. That's really, really good. And we're looking to crack on in Q2 and get it to 60%. So that's what we're trying to achieve. Let's chat about reading and listening to podcasts. I think I found it pretty hard finding a structured approach to reading this quarter. And if you guys have any suggestions or recommendations, please comment down below. Bear in mind, I wake up at like 3 o'clock.
Who are you?
To do some of my trading processes and trading goals. I'll wake up at 3 o'clock, and then I trim in the morning, come home, and that's usually when I tend to want to read. It's just that things have been a bit busy in the evenings, and yeah, please give me a recommendation or suggestion down below as to how I can go about finding a better method of reading and how I can really get through a book in a month. Because in first quarter, I only got through 1.5 books. I didn't even finish the second book. So yeah, and then I was supposed to get through 12 podcasts to I only really got through, I think, 6. And that's mainly due to me listening to podcasts at work. I don't really listen to podcasts at gym. So listening to podcasts at work means that if I get a bit too busy or the work gets a bit too much in the sense of mathematics, I tend to not listen to anything, or I listen to music because it's a bit easier for me to do math workings on Excel or whatever the case may be to then finish what I need to finish. Yeah, but we're going to try and focus on that and try and finish my podcast early in the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Q2. And that's my goal, is just trying to finish my podcast very early in the week so then I know I can tick it off from my weekly goals. And that way I can achieve my Q2 goal, because I feel like it is something that's going to help me grow and it is something that's going to push me forward in the direction of where I want to go to. And that's pretty much it. That's my quarterly review, guys. I think with trading, I can do a bit better in the sense of my confidence. I can come into the market the way I was last year and the year before and just step into it with a bit more confidence and understand that, like, you don't need to take a back step with risk. You can only go in if you understand your trading plan and you understand how your performance is. So, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for tapping into another video with your boy Marcy. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful week. I hope Easter was good, and happy Easter to every person that celebrated it. I know Ramadan's coming to an end soon, so I hope that everybody that's fasting to crack on with the fast and you guys move and end the way you started it, with the same momentum that you started it off with. Yeah. And so from your boy Marcy, I also wanted to say, don't forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button to follow through on this journey with me. And comment down below what your goals are for Q2. And that's what I'm looking forward to checking up on. Comment down below what your goals for Q2 is, and we'll check up on you. So from your boy Marcy at the Modern Day Trader, have a wonderful, profitable week. Peace out, guys.